Last lesson, 2.13, combine radicals with different roots. These are just fractional exponents, which we had in our last unit. It says use the properties of exponents to determine the value of a for each equation. So these are the ones we want. Just what the power is going to be once we simplify everything. Don't put in x with the power. You need to know that radicals must have the same index to combine. You cannot combine a square root with a cube root or a cube root with a fourth root. So what you'll do is change everything into a fractional exponent and then use the exponent rules we've learned to combine them. On number 1, I see first that a power rule is happening right here. So I need to multiply these powers. This is a 3 over 1. Multiply straight across. That would be x to the 3 halves power. This is times, because it's touching. We want to change this to x to the 5 halves power. And since we're multiplying between exponents, we are supposed to add the powers. And they already have a common denominator. 3 plus 5 would be 8 halves. 8 divided by 2 is really 4. So it would be x to the 4th power, but again, all they want is what a is, and that would be 4. Number 2 is very similar to that. We would do our power rule first, and then we'll multiply times this. We'll write it as an exponent with a radical, with a fractional power. We would have 2/5 as our power times x to the 6/5. And then since we're multiplying, we would add 2/5 plus 6/5 should be 8/5. Oh my goodness, why did I write a 3? 8/5. So that's what our a value is. Number 3, we're dividing. This is x to the 1st power. Let's fix this. This is a square root of x to the 5th, which is really x to the 5 halves power. Our quotient rule says to subtract. So I'm trying to subtract 1 minus 5 halves. I need to make this have a common denominator, which would be 2 halves makes 1 whole. So I'm really doing 2 halves minus 5 halves. 2 minus 5 is negative 3 halves. Would be my power of a. And on number 4, rewrite this as x to the 3/5 divided by, this would be x to the 3/5. Something divided by itself makes 1, but again, they're wanting what the power is. And so I'm really doing 3/5 minus 3/5. Something minus itself is 0. So this is really x to the 0 power, which equals 1. Anything to the 0 power is 1, but they want us to know that a, the value of a, the power, is actually 0. Tricky, tricky.